Hello, and welcome back to Diecast Graveyard. My name is Paul. Thanks for joining me here today. Today we're going to be restoring a Hot Wheels Light My Firebird from the Spoilers series. All of these cars were produced in Hong Kong, as you can tell by the trademark blue windshield. There's a lot of paint missing off this car. Obviously it needs some wheels. The windshield needs to be polished. And just a good overall. Let's get started. I went ahead and I drilled the car apart. Now we're going to inspect all the pieces. Well, the base is pretty oxidized, so we're going to have to dip that in the mixture of lime away and water. We're going to have to replace those front wheels and definitely put some new wheels on the back. So this is going to need a good scrubbing and some detailing. The little nose there on the front was bent, so we're going to have to straighten that out. As I said before, the windshield's pretty scratched up, so we're going to have to polish that up, maybe even sand it to bring it back to where it needs to be. But it can be fixed. The interior is in good shape. Just need to use a toothbrush and some soapy water to clean that up, and we should be good to go with that one. Now let's strip the paint off the body. I've got my handy dandy citrus strip. We're going to pour that over the car and we're going to let that sit. You can let it sit for a bit, but it'll be alright. After about 30 minutes, the citrus strip takes that old Spectre Flame paint right off with no issues. Take a good stiff brush, get that old paint off there, and then scrub it down with some soapy water and get it ready to polish up the body. I like to use steel wool during my initial phase. This seems to take out a lot of the toning and a lot of the scratches, and it's really cheap. But you just got to keep on polishing. The better you prep your body and get it ready to polish up and get the dings and nicks out of it and the toning and the scratches, the better your paint job is going to be. Now that we got it all ready to go, we're going to polish it up now. I'm using some Flitz polish, and we're going to buff this up to a real high gloss shine. Be careful when you're holding your Dremel, because it can get away from you. And again, as I've said before in my prior videos, just because your Dremel has a high speed setting on it doesn't mean you have to use it at high speed. This is just starting out, but look how nice that shine's coming out. After scrubbing it down with degreaser and getting the body ready, we're going to go ahead and mix the paint. I put approximately 120 drops of paint from the Redline shop in a cup, and the mixture is 5-to-1, so that works out to approximately 25 drops of hardener. Now we're going to start painting after we get it all mixed up. Light coat at first and continually rotate as you paint. You don't want to paint a lot in one area because you'll develop runs and that'll ruin your paint job. Just a nice light coat. Don't forget to get the inside also. All the way around the car, and don't forget the top. Alright, let's let this sit for a few minutes.
Several minutes later.
Now that that tack coat is dried up a little bit, let's go ahead and continue to paint. A couple more good light coats of paint here, and then we'll start to saturate it. You still have to be careful when you're putting on these wet coats though, because it still can run, so please be careful here. But notice the shine that's starting to come through with this paint. Really, really nice. Notice how, again, I continually rotate the body and move it around. I don't paint a lot in one area and then flip it around. I'm always moving, always going through and rotating things as we paint. Man, I love that color. That's really busting out there. That's sweet. Man, I'm really happy with the way this paint job turned out. Now I'm going to put it in a plastic Tupperware container so I can keep it in a dust-free environment while it dries. While that's drying, let's go ahead and snip off the old wheels and put some new wheels on this beast. Take this little tool here I got from the Harbor Freight shop down the street. Yeah, you got to snip these tires off, especially off these old Hong Kong red lines, because if you try to pull the wheels off, then the bearing is liable to come with it. You got to remember, these cars are approximately 50 years old, and they're brittle. Now we've got the base in a mixture of lime-away and water, approximately a 50-50 mixture. Notice how this mixture is already removing the oxidation off the base. Don't leave it in any longer than 4 minutes because it'll turn the base black. Let's do some detailing. Here we've got the taillights here. I'm going to use a red permanent Sharpie and we're going to rub it on those taillight areas. Notice how I'm holding the pen sideways. Doesn't matter how you get it on there as long as you get it on. If you make a mistake, alcohol will take this off. So don't be afraid to get in there and do it. I got a little smudge there in the middle. I used a little Q-tip or a cotton bud, wherever you are, and remove that with no problem. Now let's do the front end. Here we're going to use a little Testors semi-gloss enamel and these little makeup brushes that I found. Initially I bought these brushes from Hobby Lobby and there was approximately 10 in a pack for $4. Now I did find some later on Amazon and they come in a pack of approximately 300, I believe, and I got it for $6. Do a little bit of research. I'll put some links down below and you can get these off Amazon yourself. The whole idea about this hobby is to have fun, but you don't want to break the bank doing it. I will have a video coming up in the near future about how to do this hobby on a budget. I mean, I've got a lot of expensive equipment myself, but I had a lot of that equipment to begin with anyways. But for guys that are just starting out and want to do this, there's no reason that you should have to spend a ton of money on this just to do this hobby when you can do the same thing and get the same results for a lot cheaper price. If you go over the edges a little bit here with the paintbrush like you might see there, I'll wait for it to dry up a little bit and I'll get my dental picks and I will clean it off. Now we're going to polish up that windshield. I'm using a little bit of that Flitz polish and a rag, and we're going to go ahead and polish it up. You can use a buffing tool like a Dremel or something along those lines. Any way you do it to get the results you need. The interior is in good shape. All we got to do is use a little soapy water to clean that out. Now I want to replace the wheels on my car. BrightVisionWheels.com has a wheel selector for all the cars for Hot Wheels. All you have to do is go to their website and click on the wheel selector. Once you do that, you'll be able to find out what car you have, go down to that particular car, click on the car, and it will tell you exactly what wheels you need. Now for this Light My Firebird, it says here that I need 2 medium wheels and 2 large wheels. And if you scroll up or down, there's a selection of different types of wheels that you can put on your car. This is cool. This is good stuff. brightvisionwheels.com. Go there and it will tell you what wheels you need to do your restoration. I got my wheels out now, my 2 large wheels and my 2 medium wheels. And we're going to go ahead and put these on the base. Go to brightvisionwheels.com and you can get these wheels. They also sell wheels at the Red Line shop. Just fit them on loosely. You don't want to force them on there because you'll bend the axle or break the bearing or something. Using the little tool, the little wheel tool, put it behind the bearing and press it down with your thumb. Just like you see there. Same thing on the other wheel. Put the little tool on, press it down with your thumb. Let's finish that up. Rolls nice. I also use the tool to straighten out the axles. All right. We've got all our pieces ready to go. The base is all cleaned up. You got brand new wheels on there and it's detailed up. The interior has been scrubbed out and cleaned. The windshield has been polished and that's ready to go. And the engine has been polished and that's ready to go in too. The body, the paint turned out absolutely beautiful. That beautiful Spectre Flame orange. Love the product. It's fantastic. And this is what we started with. An old, tired Light My Firebird. Well played with and enjoyed. Close to 50 years old. Some people say, don't restore these cars. You're ruining the value of them. You know what? Unless they're in a blister pack and they're perfect and have never been played with, then yes, they're worth money. But these are my cars. I didn't get into it for money. I got into it because I wanted some nice looking cars from my past. And this is what we got to. A beautiful, completely restored Light My Firebird with that beautiful Spectre Flame orange, brand new wheels from brightvisionwheels.com. The car, in my opinion, turned out absolutely phenomenal. And the best part about it is folks, is that you can do this also. If you follow the steps that we do, not only on my page, but some of my other friends' pages, you paint, you restore, you clean, you sand, you buff, you polish, you can do this. I learned how to do these restorations by following other people's videos and trying and experimenting myself. You can do this. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We got a lot more videos coming out in the very near future, so please stay tuned. This is Paul from Diecast Graveyard. Thank you again for joining me here today, and happy restorations. Cheers.